Hello, this is Chris King. Today I'm going to teach you the present simple and how we're going to use the auxiliary verb do, does, and the verb to be. Okay, I like PowerPoint, and this is what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the present simple and food. What is the present simple? The present simple are regular actions or true statements. Regular actions usually have frequency adverbs or prepositions that describe frequency, such as sometimes, regularly, usually, every day, on Saturdays. For example, I regularly read a book at night. Okay? Sometimes I go to sleep at 6 o'clock. Okay? Facts. What are these? These are things that don't change or that are true. For example, what is your name? My name is Chris. My name is not going to change, and it's true. It's a fact. Okay, so before we go to this page, I want to look at the verb to be. Here is the simple form. I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, and they are. Okay, to form the question, for example, I am becomes am I. You invert it. You are becomes are you. He, she, it is becomes is he, is she, is it. We are becomes are we. You are becomes are you. And they are becomes are they. Now, this is the verb to be. To form questions with other verbs, you need an auxiliary verb, such as do or does. ASI and QUASI are formulas. For example, you have the auxiliary, the subject, and the infinitive. Okay, so do you swim? You have the helping verb, do, the subject, you, but you can use I, he, she, they. You can use other subjects. And swim. This is the base infinitive of verbs other than the verb to be. Quasi, question word or phrase plus ASI. Okay? How do you do? You have how, which is a question word. You have do, which is the helping verb. You, the subject, and do, which is also a verb other than the verb to be. Here I have work. So here's the conjugation. Notice for the third person, it's works. Okay? For the third person, we put an S at the end of most verbs. He works every day. She works in an office. It works very hard. Okay? And then the rest is I work, you work, we work, you work, they work. Now, here's ASI. Do I work? You can't say work I, right? You can't invert it, so that's why we needed helping verb. Notice for the third person we have does. So does she, does he, does it work? Now, let's go back to the verb to be. To form the negative, we put not. Okay? But we also have contractions. You're not or you aren't. Okay? I'm not. Alright? He isn't or he's not. Okay? But basically, if you don't feel comfortable doing contractions, we are not is just fine. Okay? Now for the negative, for other verbs other than the verb to be, all right, we also put not in front of do. I do not work. Okay? But we like to do contractions in English, so I don't work. But whatever you prefer. Now, he does not work becomes he doesn't work. Okay? But notice that work is still in the base infinitive. Does, for example, lets you know that it's the third person. Okay? So you don't need to put an S. But it is different. Does is different from do. So keep that in mind. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about food. Okay? This is an example of a quasi. What? All right? That's a question word for things, right? For breakfast. What do you usually have for breakfast? What is the QU? Do is the helping verb. You is the subject. Here's a frequency adverb placed before the main verb. Have for breakfast. Now to respond to this question, you can use the verb that is given to you. I usually have cereal for breakfast, or I usually have oatmeal. This can be oatmeal or porridge. You can say she usually has eggs, bacon, a croissant, strawberries for breakfast, toast for breakfast. Okay? How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? All right, now this is kind of a complicated QU. So let's go back. Again, question word or phrase. Okay, so a question word can be one question word or a phrase like this. How many cups of coffee? Boom, that's the QU, the question phrase. Then you have the helping verb, you drink a day. So you, the subject, the main verb, drink. Now to respond, again, I drink 3 cups of coffee a day. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? Or how many cups of tea do you drink a day? How many cups of Coke? But we would say glasses of Coke. But there's many combinations that you can use with these questions to ask about food or drink. Where? This is a locational question word. Okay, again, quasi. Where do you usually have lunch? Well, I usually have lunch at home. Good home-cooked meal. How often do you how often do you eat out a week? Okay, I eat out once a week. I eat out on Saturdays, so one time a week. Okay, an ASI question. So you have do as the helping verb and subject, main verb. Okay. Do you need to buy any food today? No, I don't. No, I do not. No, she doesn't. Okay, and then here's the verb to be as a question. Are you hungry? No, I am not hungry. Okay, so again, this is just inverted. Okay, a little bit easier than using the helping verb, but that's why we have the helping verb. Okay, want something to eat? No, I do not. So again, that's negative. Okay, remember that for the negative for to be, we would say I am not hungry. All right, I wouldn't say no, I don't. Okay, use the word here. Want something to eat? No, I do not want something to eat. That would be the full response. Okay. Okay. Alright, so to sum up everything, I made a few notes for you. Okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. Alright, now I want to have you pay attention to this. Again, I have a verb here. It's an irregular verb, but we'll go into that more in the future. Alright, here's it conjugated, but notice for the third person, he, she, it buys. You need to put an S there. So she buys Coke every week, or she buys Coke, which is just fine. You don't always have to put a frequency adverb, but it's a bit better sometimes. Alright, but not every time. Okay. I say that because sometimes the sentence will seem that it's not finished, but it's okay. It's all about communication. Alright, the verb to be. Now I'm going to go over how the verb to be, how you form questions with it, and how you form the negative with it, and how it compares to other verbs. Okay, I am becomes am I, you are becomes are you, he is becomes is he, and they are becomes are you. Okay, so you just invert it. It just flips over. Okay. The negative, right, of the verb to be. I am not, I'm not, you aren't, you're not, he isn't, he's not. It's what you prefer. There, or you can just not conjugate so you don't get it wrong. But if you're taking a test, sometimes they want you to make the contraction. Okay. Okay, now for other verbs other than the verb to be, it becomes she doesn't, and then the base infinitive. So she doesn't work, she doesn't buy gifts for that person, they don't swim, does she swim, do they play soccer? Okay. Alright, so if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this lesson. I want to make more lessons in the future to help students and teachers either learn English better or teach English better. Okay, so, and I want to teach better as well. So again, I'm making a website, so I will post it on YouTube, the website address. But for now, you can leave me a message on YouTube. If you would like private lessons via Skype, so we can be more specific of what you need, contact me on Skype for now, but eventually you'll be able to contact me on my website. Okay, so feel free to play this over and over again, and subscribe to me. Thank you. Alright, bye-bye.